Hi, my name is Nehemiah Onyekachiku Emmanuel, and I am applying for the role of a StartupGrind chapter director in Awka. Now, Awka is a home to thriving startups like budding startups who are just starting up, as well as other tech establishments, and home to one of the largest federal universities in Awka. So much of this area where I am is actually focused on students, and then some other part has to do with the residential area. Now, when I came to Awka 4 years ago, there were a few startups, but then from that time till now, I've seen an increase in number of startups. Some have been successful, some have not. One I intend at moved over to Lagos, moved their head office to Lagos, and then remained here in Awka. But the thing is, the community here for startups is not very um, favorable, and that's because much of the startups who are not focused on students or education do not generally thrive here. Now, much of this populace here has to do with students because it's a federal university around here, so most of the people here are students. I personally schooled at Nnamdi University, which is a federal university here, and for most of the startups here, they are student founded, and that's a very interesting mix because some of the students like me, I currently co-found Faraday. We are still building. Some other startups and founders I met are people who finished from Nnamdi University or founded the startup while they were still in school, and they are doing well. Now, these ones do well because they are focused on education, and then they are focused on students. Now, some other ones like that, who are not really focused on tech, kind of find it difficult to survive, but then they have to adapt to the student environment. Now, Oka do not generally have much resources apart from human resource. When you talk about the startup the students who are present here, that's a factor to consider. Aside that, there's really nothing much. The city itself is home to tech in this side, but it's still budding. So, what I've been trying to do for the past year since I was here is to more and more organize tech events in Oka here and bring tech inclusion to people who are here. So, for example, I was part of the organizers who organized GitHub Field Day that held beginning of this month in Oka here. We've held some other events like that in Oka here, and this is in a bid to bring other people from other cities over to this place and then develop Oka as a whole. It's the state capital of Anambra State. Develop Awka as a whole to be favorable to tech communities and startups eventually. My vision for the city is to grow it to be on par with other major cities we have in Nigeria, like Port Harcourt, Lagos, and Abuja when it comes to tech. And gradually, I'm actualizing that vision. I'm working with some other community leaders who school at Nnamdi University to actualize this vision. Now, the resources, as I said, is only available. It's only like the human resource we have here. For other tech resources, they are not so much. So we have to go out of our own comfort zone to find these resources and then share them. So, for example, at my startup, we applied to Microsoft for startups. I applied to StartupGrind for startups. We were accepted, and I was able to share this with some other startup founders I know and to also participate from. So, I know that having a community here, especially under the umbrella of StartupGrind, would go a very long way to help the startup founders here and the startup community here. I personally know how much power a community has when it's used effectively, and having something like that here for startups here would be very great to develop the startup community and to further help startup founders. Thank you.